All right, welcome to the 8th lesson, I believe it is, for the penetration tester course. So we have vulnerability file inclusion, right? So with file inclusion, what that is, that means that we're going to try to look at a file that the user that you are can read. That's a big part of it, right? We can't just read Etsy Shadow, but we're going to try to find a file that the user can actually read, and it's going to call back to it and hopefully drop it onto the web page for us. A way to go back in Linux, to go back one directory, is // So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to bring it back to the root directory, just a bunch of // slashes. Then we'll try something like Etsy password. Well, if I spell it right, then we may actually be able to drop something. And we do, okay? It's pretty ugly like right there. So if we do a control U, we can see that we have Etsy password. So we definitely have file inclusion on here. From here, we start to see different users. Right? We see all different users, stuff like that, which that may help us out with the brute forcing that we worked on earlier, right? Something else we can do with file inclusion is remember that shell file that we dropped in there? And we saw that was in, we'll have to go back to see exactly where it was at, but it was in DVWA vulnerabilities. I believe it was in execute. Right? What if we were to call for that file from file inclusion, right? So what if we were to do something like, I don't know, let's see here. Let's go back to a command execution like real quick. And let's do a quick pwd for present working directory, right? What if we were to go here within file inclusion? So we go to var, let's see here, if we go back, // all the way back to the root directory, right? And then we run something like that. Let's get rid of that double slash there. We have execute. Then what if we do shell.php? Because we drop that shell.php in there, and then we listen for it. So we have our listener up and running. Let's go ahead and see if we can call for that file. And we can, and we get our shell back again. So maybe if we had file upload and file inclusion, we could do something of that nature, right? We could also maybe look at home directories, other such things as that. But something to understand with file inclusion is I can't just go to like var www. I can't just do that. It's not going to show me anything in there. I need to pick a file to actually see. So how do we find files, right? How do we do this? Well, we can fuzz it, just like we have been. We can fuzz it with either Burp Suite or Fuff or something like that. So let's go ahead and grab this, and we'll fuzz it with Fuff. So we'll do a quick Fuff, tac U. We'll throw that in there, right? And then we'll say fuzz. And now we need to find something that we can fuzz it with, right? So let's go ahead and let's cd into user. There we go. User share sec list. And we can see in here we have discovery. So let's go ahead and cd into discovery. And we have file system. We can try that. Okay, nothing really in there. Let's try cd into maybe actually let's go back one. I don't think it's actually in discovery. Let's try fuzzing. There we go. Let's cd into fuzzing. And once we cd into fuzzing, we have LFI like right here. So let's go ahead and cd into LFI. And we can see that we have quite a few things in here, right? So let's go ahead and do pwd again for our present working directory, right? So we can do attack W for our word list, that slash, and we'll just say, we know we're on Linux, so we'll say LFI graceful security Linux dot text. Okay, because we know we're on Linux system. If you didn't know, you could throw, maybe something like Jihadix or something like that, which does both Windows and Linux. And you can also download these on GitHub too, or you can create your own, right? So we have this like right there. Let's go ahead and cat that like real quick. We can see that it kind of does something like that, okay? No real period slashes in here though. Usually you want something that has like period slash, things like that. That's looking at a home directory. So actually, I don't really want to do this one just because there's no period slash in there. Usually we want to do something with period slash. So let's go ahead and try that Jihadix one. Okay, if we cat that one, we can see that it's trying to obfuscate it, right? This is obfuscating it. 2F would be a backslash like right there. Okay, so we're obfuscating. We got a bunch of period slashes. We're looking at a bunch of different places, right? From here, let's go ahead and throw in our cookies, right? So attack B, and we need our cookie information, PHP sessid equals, and we'll throw in whatever that session ID equals. Storage, there we go, and then security low. Don't forget about that. Security equals low. Okay, and we'll do attack AC so we can filter out things, right? So we see we're starting to get stuff, right? It's starting to bring things back to us, okay? We got 4461, 4392. We're seeing different word links. We're seeing different um, uh, sizes. We're seeing different lines, things like that. So we're seeing different things. So we're pretty sure, hey, most likely this actually, is vulnerable, right? So we could try something like this, like right here, and throw this at it and see, hey, do you actually work? So we could take any one of these payloads here. We'll actually try the SSI2E one because this like right here is trying to obfuscate it, right? And what we're going to do this time is we're going to curl it. So we could do a curl tac help. And we could see how to actually send up, cookie information in it, right? And it looks like we're not seeing like right there, tac help all. Then we'll go ahead and grep for cook. So cookie information, right? So we got cookies tac B again. And I believe it goes the same exact way as as FUF does. So we do a curl, and we'll say tac U, all right, for the URL, right? Actually, that would be user like right there. We're just going to curl just like this, and then we'll just say, yep, just like that. We'll throw in HTTP. Let's go ahead and grab our, this guy right here. So we have to rewrite the book here. There we go. Equals, and then we're going to say, we'll try the obfuscated one or something like that, right? Etsy password, that one's Etsy password. You can try something like this. That one's obfuscated like right there. We'll throw that in there. I don't know if the obfuscated one's going to work or not, but we're about to find out together. We'll do attack B, and we'll say PHP sess ID equals. We can go ahead and scroll back up and grab my session ID. That. And I think I actually just do another attack B. Security equals low. I don't really remember with curl how exactly I do it. And that should be about it. Let's go ahead and enter, see what we get, see if we get anything. So, and it looks like we did. All right, so that obfuscated payload, like right there, that %2F there, right, which is a backslash, that is showing us that we now have file inclusion, right, LFI, local file inclusion. So we're able to do that also with curl. So we can continue to curl the page and continue to find things instead of trying to go out to the web server and looking at things, stuff like that. So we may be able to curl it, maybe look for root or something like that, right? And we see root bin bash. Maybe just look for bash maybe or something. Okay, so now these are all the users that can log in, right? Service, user, MSF admin. What about SH? Just SH, like right there. Okay, so there we go, bin SH. These are some more users that have shells that should be able to log into this machine. So we could find things like that with local file inclusion, and then we can start to work from there. So if we look at the Etsy password, now we know what home directory we look into, right? Once we know what home directory to look into, we know that it's going to be /home.ssh and then IDRSA. So you may be able to pull out a private key from local file inclusion. Or we may be able to look at index.php or config.php or .htpassword, things like that, right? And those fuzzing scripts really help to be able to fuzz a whole bunch of different things, especially when you start talking about like doing stuff within Apache, things like that. It's able to fuzz so many different things. They're able to kind of go down and be like, okay, what do I want to look at, right? What do I want to break down? It's obviously not going to go in and know that Tomcat 55 is on this machine, and so now we got to find this, it's not going to know that. But you can start to break it down, and then you can go out to the web and see how our different like content management systems or something like that broken down, such as in WordPress. You could try to find that wp-config.php file with local file inclusion. So hopefully that taught you all something. Hopefully you learned something. I'll talk to you all later.